Well, welcome everyone. Here we are in chapter 3. So we have 66 slides, so I will break this up into at least 2 parts over here. So this is chapter 3, Achieving Competitive Advantage with Information Systems. I'm sure you can all read that. And of course, this is Essentials of Management Information Systems. So again, these are the learning objectives. I'm not going to read them to you, but we can also talk about strategy that can be an abstract concept to people that don't really have this focus their whole lifetime over here. So it can be a little bit challenging over here. So basically just think maybe it's a business strategy and so many different things. And you can see that Apple, Microsoft, Ford, AT&T Wireless, Coke, Google, and other words are all going to have some kind of business strategy. Some you may agree with and some of them you may not agree with. So here are the video cases for the chapter, so you can take a look at them and pick them out, and you're going to really learn a lot from them. The MBA, of course, is kind of a fun thing in here, so that's something that we're basically all familiar with. So here we have some problems over here and some solutions. Obviously, we need to be competitive in new technology, and things that we complain about all the time here in America now is how poor the customer experience is and customer support. And it just seems like you call up and you get the press 1 for this, press 2, and then it takes forever to get a representative. Then you go, all our representatives are on hold, but you're very important to us, and the next available one will be there. We've all been through that, and we know how annoying that can be. And then when you get somebody that finally gets on the line, has no clue what you're talking about, can't help you, and then says, is there anything else I can do for you today? So we have different solutions that are offered over here. Obviously, Wi-Fi network, which a lot of customer service reps are working from home, so they can do that. Smartphones, I see students all the time using their smartphones. They have the book downloaded on there. They have study notes downloaded there. And when there's a lot of mobile apps, for instance, there's a mobile app for Canvas that you can go on and you can see what's going on in there. So that looks good. So here is a slide I came up. This is a yummy looking Starbucks drink in here. I'm assuming it has strawberries in it. So one of the things is you can open up the Starbucks app, and then you can order online. You get discounts in here. You can go to Publix, and you can pay with the Publix app. Amazon, you can go to Whole Foods and get the Amazon or Whole Foods app in here. And then, of course, you can save songs that are played in the store, which is really not my thing, but that's okay. Marketing, customers, email. I get emails all the time. If I go online on something, all of a sudden, boom, I'm getting an email in here. Customized promotions. For instance, I just booked a eye exam. And I went online and booked it, and all of a sudden I went into Facebook, and there was a big ad for my eye exam. So it's just amazing what's going on in here. So here is Porter's Competitive Forces model. So we're going to talk about each one. It's barely best known for a competitive advantage. So what it really does, in a nutshell, it provides a nice summary of the strategic situation of firms in a large business environment. And the model actually focuses on industry structure, or you can call it the environment of the firm. And that's the main determinant of management decisions on the corporate level in here. So basically, managers don't have to look up strategies out of thin air. They can look at a competitive situation in the industry, and then they consider ways of coping and succeeding in that environment. So you can see we have traditional, new markets, substitute product and services, customers and suppliers. All of them are really kind of important. So here is our new market entrance. And you can see we have the firm, the competitors, suppliers, and customers. And here is the Porter's chain value model. I did a little smart object here in PowerPoint, which I think it makes a little bit nicer. So obviously, procurement is getting the actual product. Obviously, you know what infrastructure is. Technology better be changing all the time. And of course, you need to keep up on top with your human resources. We want to all get paid. So now here are some questions over here. So how do the models help companies use IS for information or for advantages in here? So we're talking about really everyday products, from your shoes to toothbrushes to home thermostats, and they're going to have sensors or metering devices connected in there. You can go and put an internet on your refrigerator now. So we're going to be kind of technology in here. You've got a robot that cleans your floors. Now we're going to have cars that drive themselves. So and some of the data is going to be used to enhance the function of the devices. And for instance, a smart utility meter is going to let the company know when a customer loses service, resulting faster repairs. Of course, I'll believe that when I see it. And will provide real-time billing information to customers based upon energy usage. So that's really just one of the many, many, many things. And then you have product transformation. So products are going to get smarter and be more easily and effectively used. And one of the things that you always see on TV is, it'll come to me, the Echo, where you go in there and you talk to it, ask questions in there. And I forget the name for the Amazon one, but it might even be Echo. But you can see I'm not having one in my house. And I'm not going to ask it any questions because I don't know what's going on with that. So, moving on. We have information system strategy that are dealing with the competitive forces. So you can see the basic strategy that aligns with the business objectives. And you can see that in here. So one thing you want to realize is information systems often play a critical role in defining and achieving strategic objectives of the firm. So again, it could be tangible. Coca-Cola uses an intense technology to user maintains its differentiated product through marketing and branding effort. Other firms intensely use IF to achieve competition advantages. Some of them come to mind are Walmart, Facebook, Amazon, and Google. So the first step in using them is to make sure your firm is lined up with the business objectives. And you can see them over here. So here we have low-cost leadership. Walmart's kind of in a class in herself. Walmart is known for low prices in here, but sometimes the low prices mean not so good service. So just have to bear in mind what is your breaking point. Do you want high-quality products and pay a little bit more? Do you don't care so much about the product? You want low prices? Do you want service? So everybody can make up their own mind in here. So really, when you think about it, groceries, the key to success in just everything, including groceries, is efficiently moving product through your pipeline, minimizing inventory, time delays between the receipt of the goods and the customer purchase. So obviously, if you have something perishable, such as yogurt or eggs or cheese and things of that nature, it's crucial that you get them in. And of course, you need to rotate, and then you need to get them out as quickly as possible before the expiration. Then you have the meat department is not going to have a shelf life for very long, especially things like hamburgers. So again, we have the different aspects over here. So product differentiation, and Nike has a Nike program for customized sneakers in here. Google obviously has its phone. Apple's got an iPhone. So you can see all the different ways that you can differentiate your products over here. So now we're going to focus on online. So basically, we have web stores that appeal to very small niche people with unique hobbies, special interests, or different political and cultural things. So Etsy is a good example of that. And of course, you have the huge ones in there as well. So here we have Hilton's hotels on Q System, and it analyzes data collected on guests to determine preferences and guest profitability. So somebody goes in there, how much did they spend? Everything is tracked based upon your room number. So here we want to strengthen customer and supplier intimacy. I'm not really sure. Intimacy is the greatest word in here. I'd like to choose it as a stronger relationship in here. So Toyota uses information system to facilitate direct access from suppliers to production schedules. And there, obviously other companies do that as well. And it permits suppliers to decide how and when to ship products to plants, allowing more lead time in processing goods. Amazon keeps track of user preferences for purchase and recommends titles purchased by others. I get emails all the time from Amazon, suggested for you. So here we have the internet's impact on the competitive advantage. So basically I'm just going to go through this. They're kind of self-explanatory. You need to enable products and service, encourage substitute products. So you go to Amazon and something's not available and all it says is suggest this instead. Sometimes you go to the grocery store, they're out of stock of something and they'll substitute for something else, although that's not so prevalent anymore with COVID. So we have lower barriers to entry, change the balance of power of customers and suppliers, transform some industries, and so on. And then, of course, we want to learn about the Internet of Things. Business value chain, which you're going to see in the next slide, is going to be a graphical representation. So here we are. Benchmarking and best practices are really important. So you want to make note of everything that's going on and whether or not it's productive or not. So here are the value chain model. So you can see it in a graphical in here. So you're identifying the market leads. You have the procurement. You have obviously production, marketing, sales, and distribution. So let's just take a car manufacturer. So obviously, hot topic right now is cars that are electric. So now we need to see how many people are for getting those cars that are reliant on electric, how many want the hybrid, or how many want to stick to traditional gas models until they're forced to in here. So you need to find all those things out. Obviously, you need to get the products, and they need to be logically distributed in a reasonable manner. So logistics is really important. Quality control is not going to do you any good to manufacture something that all of a sudden doesn't work, because obviously that gets out real fast. Production, we need quality control. One of the things you probably don't want to do, they say, is never buy a car on that was made on a Friday, because more than likely it's Friday at 4 o'clock. They just want to put it together and get out for the weekend in here. Then, of course, you have the marketing. Sales is really important in distribution. So marketing is great. Every time you turn around, you're going to see some kind of TV commercial about some kind of car manufacturer and all the different things. Sales, you go in there and they act like if you leave, their life is going to come to an end. So they may really get you on it. Now, I don't know about the online, how that actually works. I'd be kind of afraid to buy a car online, and now I think you can buy a house online. And then, of course, distribution. You don't want to wait 4 months to buy a car. So we have, again, the value chain model. So here is a illustration of how that works. So I'm going to just leave this up for a second so you can take a look at it. But you can see how suppliers and the suppliers are also related to the suppliers, the firm, distributors, and customers. So you could have something like, say, like Coca-Cola. Well, Coca-Cola needs to have somebody to get them their bottles, somebody to get them their ingredients, and then they do the manufacturing, and they distribute, and hopefully customers will buy. All right, so how are smart products changing operations and decisions? So I have it as expanding opportunities for product and service differentiation, while it actually enables companies to improve both the product and the customer experience. Organizations can collect data and help improve operations and decision making, and they can use data to build ties to customers that will lead to better services and stronger sales. So again, we have the smart meters for utility that's going to hopefully be an advantage to them. So again, here is a class discussion that obviously we're not in class because you're listening to this on a video, but just take a look at these things in here and see what you think. So again, now we have the value web. So I put it into quick sentences. The value web is a collection of independent firms that use information technology to coordinate their value chains to produce a product. Value webs also are flexible to adapt to changes in supply and demand in here. So sometimes it's actually referred to as an extended firm, the virtual firm, the contract firm. So to a large extent, business firms have been always dependent upon their suppliers, logistic partners such as trucking and railroads, and of course now we have the supply chain. So we're taking a look at things of that nature. So let's go and pick up the next slide, and here is a value web. And I'm going to cut the video off over here, so I will leave this up for about 15 more seconds so you can see exactly how all that ties together.